Hello, welcome to our open office hours. We already have a lot of people in the chat. As early as I think there was somebody in the chat 3 hours before we were going live. So props to you for being aware of the event and being in the chat. And I also saw that you are still with us. So that is awesome. Lots of people really like these Ask Me Anything sessions. Which we were talking about before we went live. I think it's so great that people like it, but at the same time, I feel like it can be really hard to digest and take in because these are all over the place. Of just starting out to super technical to getting in the weeds of development. But
I know I always feel a little exhausted after these because of the switching.
It's like rapid fire PMPro knowledge. It's a test.
That's okay. Stump us. Stump Mary.
Yes. So today we have Kim Coleman and Mary. Mary is on our customer support team. So if you are a premium member, you likely have seen her answer your tickets. And then, Kim and I are always on. We run the show. I'm going to dive right in so we get the full hour of all the questions. I did see that Cindy popped in a question and has to leave early. So we're going to get to Cindy's question first. They use PMPro and they're adding LifterLMS. They have 2 levels, free and premium. They need to add a premium plus level that includes the courses, and they want to know how they can do this.
Yeah, so if they're restricted, they would need to use the streamline, the option to streamline to use LifterLMS with PMPro. If they do that, then they can choose what courses they want to restrict to the premium users. Then you don't assign any users to the free level. You restrict your courses to the premium users and you're good to go. Yeah, I think we can put a link to that section in our documentation where they just follow the instructions to streamline to use PMPro with Lifter and they're good to go.
Sometimes people, Cindy, are doing a hybrid model where the courses can be purchased individually or included in the premium plan. It wasn't totally clear in your question if that's the model you're hoping to achieve, but that's also possible. You would set it up kind of somewhat differently. You can do this with an a la carte level that each level is associated. You could do a level that allows multiple selections in a level group. So you would have a level for each course and then put a price on that level. All the checkouts would process through Paid Memberships Pro. And then you would have a protect each course for that individual level, 1-to-1. They could buy as many of those individual levels as they want to get individual courses. They handpick. And then like Mary said, you could also do that bundle option that included all the courses, which is pretty, okay, Premium Plus. So you're adding an additional tier. Yeah, I would duplicate your premium level, call it Premium Plus. You would rebuild restrictions for things that are accessible to premium to also match Premium Plus. There's a feature to do that in our toolkit add-on, and then do that restriction thing like Mary said, assigning the LifterLMS courses. Just like you would restrict a page or a post in Paid Memberships Pro, you can restrict a course.
I apologize. I have a kitten.
Uh-oh.
And it's trouble.
Onyx is back to be trouble today.
So if you see me jump out of my seat real quick, it's because the cat's doing something that they shouldn't be doing. He's crazy. Okay. I did throw in the LifterLMS add-on page that does show you how to do the streamline that Mary was talking about, and also how to restrict content and everything like that. If you are in the chat and you've submitted a question previous to us going live via our website, please let me know that you're here so I can make sure we get to those questions. Otherwise, we will answer those by email if you're not here, because we do want to answer the questions that people are here for. I did see in the chat that we just said his name, Kim. Michael is here, and Michael did submit questions earlier. So from our from our document that we have. Michael's first question is, in PMPro, I can associate a WordPress role with a level that is using the role add-on, by the way.
Yeah.
This is great as I have several levels that I would like to grant the same access. What happens when the account expires or is canceled? Is the role removed from the member?
Yes, the role is removed. The role is removed and the user gets the default role that you set in your WordPress general settings default role.
And how would you set this up?
Do you mean that second part, Sam? The second part of the question was related to membership expiration and that people could still access their profile.
Oh, yes.
When a member has when a user has no membership levels, they can still view the membership account page. They can still access their orders and order history, and they can still edit their profile and change their password. So as long as the user still exists, they can log in and use a limited view of the membership account page, access order history, and then also be able to update their profile. The section of the account page that shows their memberships will say you do not have an active membership. Click here to choose one, and it'll take them to the page that's assigned as your membership levels page. We could probably demo that pretty easily. Let me see if I can do it quick while we take another question, and then I can show my screen.
While you spin that up, and before I ask the next question, Renard8450, you said you submitted a question. As TK. Okay, perfect. I was going to ask who you submitted it as. Okay, so I'm going to jump to TK's question in the doc, and then we'll go back to Michael's other question that he had, because he did submit 2 questions. Cool. So TK, using group accounts add-on, I want to use locked memberships to prevent having all the child accounts inactivated if the group owner leaves. If I set the lock level for the parent group to be 1 year, their subscription term, is there still a way they can turn off auto renewal if they don't want to pay for the next year's term?
Yeah, I feel like those are 2 questions. So first, the child accounts mimic the group parent accounts. So if the group parent expires or cancels, the same thing is applied to the child account. Now, if on the lock question, it says if I set the lock level for the parent group to 1 year, okay. So if is that a subscription or a level set with an expiration date? I didn't quite get that.
It does say their subscription term.
Yeah. So if they cancel, it should set an expiry date for their next payment date. It shouldn't cancel their membership immediately. If they cancel their subscription, they get an expiry date set to the next payment date. That's the next time the subscription was supposed to be charged.
Yeah, it's an auto renewing subscription. Yeah. So yeah, if they cancel, then they would keep their membership up until what would have been their next payment date, and that will turn into their expiration date.
So I think it's also saying that if he uses a lock membership add-on to lock their membership, would they still be able to cancel their renewal? When you use the lock membership, they shouldn't be able to cancel the subscription. It should take them to the locked page to say you can edit this membership, reach out to an admin, or you can modify that to what you prefer.
Which you can customize that message as well.
Yes.
I'm just curious why you don't want the child accounts deactivated if the group owner cancels.
Leaves.
Because that's really important. I wonder if you're instead interested in like what's the one where you invite people? Invite only membership.
Invite only membership.
Yeah. Sometimes people use group accounts when they're really trying to set up that multi-tier referral network. So perhaps take a look at invite only and see if that actually is what you're thinking of here. They don't have the same joined relationship as group accounts so that their memberships don't cancel, but it does allow you to give the main account holder a code that lets people sign up for levels that otherwise aren't public. So it's kind of that use case. And if you're really doing it because you want you don't want the parent member to be able to like cancel twice, There's other ways to customize that cancellation process. We do it on our side. I don't show the cancel link anymore on our account page once there's an expiration date or the subscription isn't active anymore. So I kind of hide the ability to cancel twice and immediately and terminate the membership. So I don't know. Some of these things might also be possible. And like Mary said, customizing the lock membership level message might be your best option. If you do like this lock approach, putting a message there, say, if you want to cancel the recurring portion of your membership, contact us and I will handle that for you. So you could just make your page really clear that you can cancel the auto renewal. We just have to an admin has to do it for you.
I think it's also important to note, based on your use case and just something for you to noodle on, is the parent with group accounts would be paying for the child, and the child account would not have a payment associated with their account. So in that scenario, if the parent does cancel and not paying, I personally would also not want those child accounts to benefit from a unpaid parent account. That would just be something.
In the follow up there, it sounds like you're just concerned that the act of the parent account clicking cancel, getting their expiration date in 1 year, it won't trigger cancellation of all the child accounts until the actual level is removed from the parent. So, and we can test that out. You could test that out with set up expiration date on a test account for tomorrow and then watch what happens to your child accounts. They should be active until.
Perfect. Kim, did you get that
thing
for
deep.
Michael?
I have to always remember to stay on task.
I know.
With these questions.
Did you?
I always feel let's go over here.
That's what I'm saying. They're all over the place, but it's great because we dive into different things. And at any point, if you are watching this and you're like, oh, I would love a open office hours to go deeper on a specific topic, let us know. Put it in the comments. Contact us on our contact page. Throw it in the Slack community if you're in there. If you're not in the community, I strongly recommend joining. And let us know because we're always trying to find ideas for these. But we also know that the Ask Me Anythings are always popular. Kim, did you get that demo for Michael set up?
Yes.
Okay, I will share your screen and I'm going to give you 1 minute.
Yeah, not even. So I'm logged in as an admin, but I also am, this is the view of the membership account page. This account does not have any memberships. So you'll see here, I can still access my information from my previous orders. And then this section here, you do not have an active membership. Choose a membership level. And I can also click here and still do everything like I should be able to do as a user in this site.
Beautiful.
Less than a minute.
Boom. All right. Michael's next question. And then I think I'll be jumping into the comments for questions. We're using PayPal Standard Payment Gateway. We've had a problem where members are not expiring and PMPro support has encouraged us to change to PayPal Express Gateway. Note we are using PayPal subscriptions. At the same time, our PayPal rep has been pushing us to use the PayPal Advanced Gateway. What is the difference from the perspective of PMPro? Is there a list of features available with different gateways, or do you have recommendations on which gateway we should use? Or should we look at using a completely different gateway vendor?
I want to scream Stripe, yes. But
that's what my brain said too. I was like, Stripe.
So there's no difference in features between PayPal Standard and PayPal Express. Years ago, PayPal Standard in some cases allowed people to complete the checkout as a guest, not requiring a PayPal account. PayPal Express always required a PayPal account, I think. But now they almost always require a PayPal account. You can't get around that if you're using PayPal as the offsite gateway. And it's for good reason. People trust the PayPal name. They say PayPal says higher conversions when PayPal is your gateway. And giving people that PayPal account means that they have kind of two paths to manage how they're paying you. They can log in their membership account and see that their subscription is active, cancel it if they need to. And they can also log into that PayPal account and change the subscription funding method. So it's good that they have a PayPal account no matter what. You can switch from Standard to Express. It's just a few settings. Nothing will go out of sync. Everything will keep working. PayPal Express also works with subscriptions. And the gateway in development on our side is to integrate with what's called PayPal Complete Payments. That is not PayPal Advanced. PayPal's complete payments is what we've been told by our rep is the most modern and will be fully supported for the longest time integration for PayPal. So that's our next evolution. We don't think Express is going anywhere anytime soon. There's been no indication that it's being fully deprecated. They just are replacing it and migrating people, wanting people to migrate to this new V2 version of these APIs. So support can guide you through switching between Standard and Express. It's really just following the Express Gateway documentation, which I think I added a note, like you can seamlessly switch between Standard and Express pretty easily. So
yes, that has been updated. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to jump over to...
I think also tell your rep to reach out to us, because I always like to talk to the different PayPal people. If they want to contact us and tell me what they call advanced and what that is, the person I've talked to is calling it complete payments, and it's just a bundle of confusion from the PayPal people and their naming of things. So if they would be willing to email me and tell me what advanced is to them, then I can take a look at it and I can go back to my rep and say, is this the preferred method? Why are people being told to use this?
Perfect. Okay, I'm going to throw this question up and then I'm going to put this cat away because it's trying to be bonkers and very distracting. So,
sorry, Onyx.
Kim or Mary, you want to read that question and answer it? I'll be right back.
Okay. Ita says, with MailPoet or something like that, is there an easy way to mail premium members by each tier with MailPoet?
Yep. Yeah, that's pretty easy. We have MailPoet integration. It's a newsletters built right into your WordPress site. So you'll, when you configure our integration, you'll assign a specific list, or is it a tag? It's either a list or a tag or a segment, whatever MailPoet wants to call it, to each level that you offer. And then when those people complete checkout, that subscription is created in your MailPoet side of things. The appropriate level is tagged for them. And then when you go through the process of initiating an email to send in MailPoet, you can choose which tag or tags, segment or segments to include in the distribution.
Oh, yes. So the mail has to be sent from MailPoet, not on a
It's all
PMPro
built in.
dashboard.
MailPoet's the one that's built into, isn't that the automatic owned one? It's built into the WordPress site, the newsletter distribution. There's so many of them.
Is that MailPoet? Yeah, there's so many of them.
I know, like
I don't know,
Mailgun, MailChimp.
Stay tuned for an Open Office Hours in Q2 about email marketing integration.
Oh, that's right. That's true. You weren't being silly.
No, I wasn't being silly. I do have I have an event planned. There are a lot of them.
I'm using Fluent CRM right now, and I really like it. So if you haven't committed yourself to MailPoet, it's another one to check out. They have a light version, and their premium version has built-in integration for paid memberships pro. The integration's not on our site. You'd have to upgrade to their premium Fluent CRM, but I do really like it.
Awesome. Okay, so going back to courses real quick, but this time instead of LifterLMS, we're going to talk about Master Study LMS. Marcus from System Surgeon Agency has a similar issue with restricting the courses per level, but the membership level selection is not showing on the courses. They're using Master Study. How do I get the levels option to show on the course edit screen?
Yeah, so
I don't have great documentation on this one.
Yeah, so what I understand is Master Study has their integration with PMPro, but you could also use a custom post type. I haven't tested that. We could check real quick, but you could also use a custom post type. If Master Study shows up as a CPT, that could allow you to also add the required membership meta box to your Master Study courses.
I'm pulling up support. I feel like, is Master Study the one that went all in on the block editor and then they lost all the panels that maybe it's not that one.
I don't know, but I do know that integration is a third party, which is why we don't have great documentation on it, because it's not something that PMPro owns. It's a Master Study owned.
Yeah, because they also create their own pages for PMPro. They create their own version of, all the PMPro pages when you toggle on within their plugin.
Yeah, I don't see. I know it's all in there, and
Mm-hmm.
I would reach out to them. I hope that they have a
We don't
plan
like
to
saying
keep
that.
supporting you. I know. I hope that they have a plan to keep supporting you, because when they did that, we're all in on the block editor. They didn't move all of their settings that were coded for the classic editor into their upgraded editing interface. Even the custom post type, I don't know that it will work, but it might.
Yes,
You
I can
can
confirm.
try.
It might. Yeah.
We
Here,
have
I am dropping the link to our add-on, our custom post type add-on.
For this add-on, it would you would have an interface where you would select which post types you want to try to protect by membership level, and it attempts to enable our require membership meta box or panel on the CPTs, but I don't know that it works with master study. Should I just use LifterLMS? It depends how far into your build you are, how complex
And what
of a
functionality
course.
you need as well, because we have courses for membership, which is very basic courses. If you were to go to the Paid Memberships Pro site, we do have 3 courses that we offer using our courses membership, so you can kind of see the interface there, as well as our documentation. But if you need things like quizzes, assignment tracking, grading, and more in-depth things, then Lifter is our more recommended plugin for LMS. But yeah, if you're in and your courses are built, you would really want to consider if you want to rebuild.
Yeah. I will say, like, in the past, what are we, 14th year, embarking our 15th year, like integrating with other people's stuff is the hardest and most costly development that we do, because things change. So we're at this phase where we're like, we can't integrate with 10 LMS. We have to kind of limit that. And how do we choose which ones are most popular? How do we choose the ones that are most friendly? How do we choose the ones that are most open? And we also are part owners in LifterLMS, and they also follow this open source model. So I would recommend LifterLMS because I think that they as a company align with us as a company, and it's the version, or it's the course integration that we will devote the most energy to, because we can call their developer and they can call us. So there is like a closeness there that makes things helpful. There's issues with that integration right now that we're aware of and we want to improve, but it's not going anywhere because we own it. We own part of it. So
Yeah.
if our lightweight one isn't enough, LifterLMS is always the one that we're going to recommend next because of that long-term stability.
Yes, he also asked if you should just use LifterLMS. Yes, please use Lifter.
Fitworks, you said you submitted a question. Let me know what name that's under so I can find it. Let's see. Jim, how would we create committees attached to events? And
This
do
is a
you
bit
support
unfair.
sponsorship of membership and events?
The question is a bit unclear. The first one is a bit unclear. I'm not quite sure what you're
Committees.
referring
Yeah.
to.
Jim, if you could give us more information about your use cases, like, what is a committee? What kind of events are you hosting? For sponsorship, you can always create a membership level that runs as if it's a sponsorship level, so they check out and hold the sponsorship. Events are something that we're always looking to find out how people are using, and hopefully we can work to improve the events functionality. But yeah, we definitely need more information for that one.
Yeah, we don't have native event functionality. We have integration with other people's events plugins. So if you're using the events calendar or events manager, those are 2 that we integrate with, and I would look to them and see how they handle like hosts of events, which what it sounds like. I don't know if the committee is who can attend the event or the committee is the group of people that create and run it together. If it was me, I don't know if this is like lots of events or like we've had people use Paid Memberships Pro just to run like one big event, right? And then they create a whole like microsite for that event, and then they just would create a page in WordPress about us, our committee kind of thing. You could probably list the people in the event description. And then I'm sure that most of these events plugins have ways to promote a user's backend ability to see and manage registrations, attendees, ticketing, all that stuff. So
yeah, they mentioned somebody else mentioned having a role for members, and then the like for each event. So I dropped a link to our roles add-on. I would check that out as well. And let me scroll back to the comments to find out where we are.
Maybe you need an event that has private information that only the committee is posting and communicating about. They could hold a level in Paid Memberships Pro. You could associate that also with the event elevated role capabilities that the events plugins have. I think it would be more of the events plugins role than job than the PMPro job.
All right. Dan wants to know, how can I add or show, add, and move the answers from the user questions to member profiles?
From the user, what are you using to create the user questions? Is this custom user fields?
And then are you talking about the member profiles in the admin, or are you talking about the member profile, like the front end profiles add-on? If I were to wildly guess, I would say maybe you have a forms plugin and you ask some questions there that people submit. It gets stored with their submission. You would want to find a way in your forms plugin to also maybe first require them to be logged in, or that the form would create the user and store this form information in user meta. And I know that like Gravity Forms has a way to do that. It doesn't just store the submission in the submissions table. It also appends it to the user who submitted that information. So it might be that. That's a wild guess. Sometimes we do that on these calls.
If we get more information, we'll come back to that question. But
just like a high level overview, WordPress has lots of database tables. One of them is the users table, and one is called user meta. And the users table is like the basic user information, like their display name, first name, last name, password, hashed, certain stuff like that. And then meta can be anything. And Paid Memberships Pro user field data is all stored in user meta. So however you're collecting the information, we need to get it into user meta, link to the right user ID, and then it will show up in your places that you need in the PMPro land.
They're not sure. When folks join, there are a series of questions. There are a series of questions they answer, but they can't find them.
If you're in our Slack community, someone might peek and help you. Good shout out for the Slack community time. We don't provide support in there, but it's a 800 plus member community of people that are doing what your guys are doing, building membership sites. And everyone wants to help everyone out, and they want to get help too. So maybe if you post there, we could take a peek at that onboarding process with those questions. More than likely, they are user fields, I hope, but
yeah, I'm thinking because it's saying when they join, so I'm thinking perhaps the user fields that were created with custom code, if you can find them in the GUI settings, that maybe they were created with custom code on your site, possibly. And maybe they were set to just show at checkout and not on a profile page.
Or it could be that your site is not fully using PMPro to the full extent and you're not using a member checkout. And that could be then you might be using a form for that to kind of make a workaround rather than using our form. But yeah, I would definitely reach out in the Slack community. Or if you're not in there and you don't want to join, you can contact us on our contact page with more information. Okay. All aboard phonics. Is there a way to customize the message when a non-member visits a restricted content page? Real quick, short answer, yes. Coding with Sam did do an episode on this, and I'm dropping the link now for you. So check that out.
We don't plan to keep it as challenging and code-based forever, but for right now, we haven't found the exact experience we want to recreate for what used to be customizable. So I don't know. I'll just say
Dan had another question.
Oh, sorry.
Dan had another question of how can we add items to the items members can update on their profile. Again, that would be user fields. So figure out initially how you're getting those first answers, and then you can incorporate them in other places.
I'll grab a user fields link. Did we already put one in?
I did not put one in. If you could grab one, that would be great.
Can I pull up the FitWorks question? They put it in chat. I think they were Russell from the pre-submit.
Oh, yes. That is Russell.
Okay. It's up there.
I think Russell wants to know how they can set up these levels. And there's more information in our document.
How do I move exercise courses under?
Russell, we may have already talked about it. Oh, maybe you're using Master Study? Is that what you're using?
Which LMS are you using?
What LMS? Yeah.
Let us know what LMS you're using, Russell, because that changes the answer.
I know that there's like groups in LearnDash, so that, but I don't want to jump ahead and say that's what you're using. But those tiers in Pay Merchants Pro, you would set those up as membership levels. You would set it up that they can only choose one in that, what we call a level group. We're going to use the word group in a lot of ways right now, because it does sound like tiered access in your site. And then as far as what you're protecting, that we just need to know your LMS, and then we can give some recommendations.
We have another question. Tony asked another question about the protected content message. Again, you can look at the link that I dropped for that. I just don't want to keep going over the same question. Let's try to find some new things. While we wait for Russell anyway.
Oh, Michael, I saw your follow-up. Is a selected gateway just the default? It'd be nice if there's a list of configured gateways in one. We are actively working on that. That's actually my cycle work right now, is to, we're going to have like a table view of all the gateways, whether or not the information is like populated for them, and then which one's actually enabled. So it won't be that drop down, go, edit, save, put it back kind of thing. It's going to, I don't know.
Yeah, that was the question I was going to bring up.
In my court.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see a way to disable it. Yeah. That,
Soon.
that marker sketch of that development looks really cool. So when it does get launched, it will be really nice. Is the default just the selected gateway?
Yes.
And you can do, if you do want to add multiple payment options, like if you're using Stripe and you want to add PayPal Express, we have an add-on. And if you want to do manual payments for check, bank transfer, Venmo, anything that's not online, you can also use that add-on. We talked about custom post type. Okay, so Russell, we still need to know what what LMS you're using for your courses for us to help you a little bit more with that question. And
I'm going back to the very top.
I keep scrolling to the very, very top, but I think I'm getting them all.
MailPoet.
Sponsorships. Just a note by MK on the custom roles. It would be really useful to allow read-only access to orders for our treasury department, but no access to modify anything in the order. There might be capabilities on that to where you could customize the membership manager role. You might want to look into that. That was another
orders
with spam.
I feel like the only orders capability is, I'm wondering, how admins can view orders on the front end just as if they were the member.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if there's it would probably need custom code, but some way to we don't have a view link on the list of orders either. I don't know. I like that idea. I like the idea of viewing and not being able to edit, though.
Yeah, that is a good idea.
It's a good one. Lots of good ideas on this call, everyone. I'm not singling out this one, but it is a good idea. I'll put it in our dev channel right now. Someone will code it. No, I'm just kidding.
Robert from Quinte Landlords. In PMPro, there's a little box where we can type in text and info about a member. Is it possible to create more space for this and be able to open up the notes to be full screen?
So I'm guessing the credit are fields for admins only.
It could be the default member notes field that shows up on the user info panel of the edit member screen.
Ah.
Yeah. I mean, if they added another user field group that was like extended notes, and then they put a text area there, they could probably do some admin CSS to enlarge the size of it. And there wouldn't be like a full screen view of that. But it's not filterable, the size of that text area on the, I can put my screen up. I'll show you what we're looking at.
It's just for us to see and type info into.
Yeah. If you want to put my screen up, I'll show. Yeah. So I think what is Robert, right?
Oh,
Is
yeah,
talking about
Robert.
this member notes field. So like you can like do this, but that's silly. But I wonder if you might be able to just add some admin CSS to enlarge the size of it. And if you're already using this field, you wouldn't want to duplicate it, but it does have an ID. So you could use some admin CSS that targets this element and then resizes it to make it bigger. But
and I do know Robert is not a developer, so I know this is not going to be in Robert's wheelhouse.
And I say that you're going to become one, though, I think, with all the great ideas you have in this project.
Keep watching Coding with Sam, and then you'll be able to do it.
Yeah. There isn't a great, easy way to add CSS to the admin of your WordPress site either. So that would also be like a little tricky, but that's what we were talking. I think that's the field we're talking about.
I think that's the field too. Coolio. Okay. Oh, Michael wants to do manual payments next to PayPal. So I would recommend setting PayPal as your main gateway and then also setting up the pay by check add-ons for your manual payments. And I can drop a link to the pay by check.
I was going to get it.
Okay, Kim's going to drop a link to the pay by check add-on.
I have And you can actually offer all three. So pay by check, PayPal Express add-on, and Stripe is your primary gateway. So it's pretty flexible. That's three gateway.
And you just answered Michael's other question of can I show different options for pay by credit card and pay by PayPal? You absolutely can.
So you would do Stripe is your primary gateway, add PayPal Express add-on, and the manual payment gateway. And then right now, the kludgy way to do the settings, you change the default gateway, enter the settings, save, change the default gateway, enter the settings, save, and leave this page with your actual primary gateway being Stripe at the end of all the editing settings until the new version.
Tony, I added a link that answered your question before you arrived, and I apologize for that. I did not know you were not here. But if you tell me what it was about, I can find the link for you again. Or if you're on being on YouTube, I think in the chat column, there's like an ability to show top comments or all comments. If you switch to all comments, you'll be able to scroll through and see them. I know I end up with trouble like after the stream. I'm like, oh, we talked about that thing, and then I can't find it again. So I think that's how you can toggle it. But if you can't toggle it and you tell me what it's about, I'll find that link for you again because the Rolodex is up here.
Yeah. I wonder if it was the content messages one.
Possibly. I don't know. That is a common question today, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye, Russell. Oh no, Renard wasn't Russell. Renard was someone else.
TK.
Russell was TK. Sorry.
Does
I'm trying to learn everyone's
Surgeon
name.
Agency? I know. System Surgeon. I forget your name. I'm so sorry. Does PMPro allow me to restrict menu links by membership level?
Yes. Nav based. You can create. We have a Nav Menus Add On that you can use to create membership a menu for specific levels. So you could choose to have for some levels or not, some levels, not all your levels, but you can create menu based on And you can create for primary. You can create a primary menu for all visitors, and then you can create for just members of specific levels or all members.
I did just pull Kim's screen up to show the one we're talking about. I also dropped the link in the comments for that, Marcus. Thank you for telling us your name again.
Marcus.
Marcus. This is the method for a classic theme that still allows you to use the very friendly appearance menus screen to create those navigation menus. If you're using a block theme, if you're using Elementor or Divi to build your menus, you may need to customize that in a different way. We have, I bet they're linked from this in the sidebar. We try to link all of the, but you have to do something special if you're using Divi or Elementor and creating the menu within like the header, custom header section of Divi. And if you're using a block theme, you also would use what's called content visibility settings in Paid Memberships Pro to control the visibility of the navigation menus kind of in a different way. I thought we did this tutorial. Did we do it on a stream? I don't know.
I don't remember.
I think when I did the Elementor open office hours, I showed how to do it. Well, hopefully you're using a classic theme because the menu entering interface is very nice.
Marcus is using Elementor. They know how to do the entire menu, but not specific links.
Oh, I would just keep duplicating it. I don't think we can protect at the specific link level. The way the Elementor integration is, it's what is it? You can protect like the row or the element, or I don't know. You can't protect like an item inside of an element specifically. I don't know. Does Elementor let you put a classic menu in a location or no? You have to build it with their stuff. I don't think so. But you can just duplicate the menu and make them all different. It's going to look weird when you're editing as admin, but it won't look weird to your users.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
Marcus, are you the same Marcus that submitted a course language question about changing enrolled courses to being my courses? Let me know if that's you or if it's a different Marcus. Okay, so Tony, I did see your question. I did repost that link just so you have it. So I hope you see it now. I also did see that you joined the community. So I can drop that to you in there as well.
Sam, we need to get you like a button. So when someone joins the community, when we're on our calls, like, I've seen people do that on the streams, haven't you? We're not that cool.
As long as it's not like a button that then shoots out confetti or something and makes a big mess, because that would not be okay.
Every time someone joins, Sam has to make a mess and vacuum.
Oh, yes, but that was the wrong question. It was you. Okay. So I guess we don't need to talk about that then. But if you want to dive into it, just let me know. We can. All the action celebration.
Tony, you asked about adding a screenshot image above or below the Paid Memberships Pro box.
That's in relation to the restricted content message, which you can do when you are coding that.
Okay. I also wondered if you wanted to take a look at your advanced settings for how you're showing or hiding excerpts. So you might be hiding excerpts, which would mean that when somebody who cannot access a post lands on a protected post, all they see is that box. So if you want to show them a little bit more, you can put that content in the excerpt of your post and change your advanced settings to show the excerpt. I don't know if I want to demo that. I can. I don't have to, but it is the default setting in Paid Memberships Pro will hide the excerpt. So sometimes people aren't even aware of the fact that you can do teaser content outside of that protected content message without any additional work needed. And I've also seen people put stuff in the excerpt that they protect with content visibility for non-members. So once members are logged in and can see the content, they don't see it. But it's a really easy way to put teaser content that's actually teaser and not part of the real protected post.
Right.
That would enjoy the confetti.
Yeah, the cat would enjoy the confetti. Speaking of action and celebration and all of the confetti and everything, the next open office hours that we're going to have is going to be our 70th open office hours.
Oh my gosh.
I cannot believe that is where we're at with this, because we started these like maybe 2.5 years ago,
Yeah.
I think. And the next one on March 13th will be number 70. And I will be presenting, which is a rare thing.
Maybe Sam should get a gluten-free, dairy-free cake.
That would be fun. Okay, back to questions. Let's see what we have. Okay, Tony, I got you covered. Okay, another question from Robert. How can we run reports on KPIs such as churn, retention, lifetime value, engagement, event intent, email open?
So all of that data is in all different places probably right now.
Yes.
So I wish I was like, this is the thing you need. You know, I've been on calls with like SaaS products that attempt to do this for people, and they're very expensive and probably not all that useful at the end of the day for the connections you're trying to make between that separate data. So like right now it's all separate data. We have an article about churn and some ways to calculate it. We have some custom reports on our site, which we could share and expose, but they're very customized to how our model is set up. So it's a challenge for us to create a one-size-fits-all report because of how many different memberships all of you have set up and the uniqueness of them. So it often comes down to like a per user thing. If you are using Stripe, Stripe does provide some of this data. If you're using Stripe and PayPal, it's going to be data in two separate places. So I wish I had like, this is exactly what I would do. We've talked about building a analytics SaaS alongside Pay Memberships Pro that you could connect your site to, and it would run over there and it would be customized to you. We have never taken action on it. There used to be one, there's one for WooCommerce, right? Called Metric, but it only calculates, it's only financial data. It's not also like based on engagement and stuff like that. I don't know.
So here's a
maybe
great
when we
way
have Derek
to
on for Conversion Bridge. Oh, go ahead.
So just as an example, so I sent out to our paid members that have been paid for I think over a year a survey for research on how they're using trials and Pay Memberships Pro. I have then taken their answers and I put them into ChatGPT, and I had ChatGPT write me an analysis report on their answers, who gave me the best information, what our development team should do to improve our trials, and the customers that I should be reaching out to find out more information from. And ChatGPT gave me this entire breakdown, and I have a beautiful report to submit to our team. And so what the point of all of that was, what you could do, Robert, is gather your data from all of the different places. So you can get your, membership signups for your free levels, your paid levels. You can go into your email marketing system and get your open rates and your unsubscribe rates and all of those things. And you can put all of this data into ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, whatever AI bot that you like to use. And you can ask it for an analysis.
See what it makes. That's probably works.
And it saved me probably hours of work getting all of that.
Export orders, you get their email address. When you export members, you get their email address. And when you export data from a mailing list, you're going to get their email. So it should be able to identify one human across all of those areas and give you data.
Yeah. So give it a shot and let us know how it works, because that would be something that would be really fun to do. And I was impressed with how it did. I am a nerd. I'm actually in a digital marketing boot camp right now, and a lot of the classmates last night in our Zoom were like, I want to be in Sam's breakout room for the activity, because last night was about SEO and WordPress, and I was just nerding out and helping the teacher. And I was teacher's pet, and I'm a nerd.
We're very AI forward here. Everyone in our team has a premium account at ChatGPT, and we're trying to leverage it as much as possible in a safe way.
The other biggest tip when you're doing things on ChatGPT is to give it a role. And so I like to use the words act as a, and then I give it a role of whether it's a content writer or an email marketing professional, or like in this case this morning I said act as a data analyzer. And so you kind of like put it in the shoes of that role that you're not skilled at, and it does actually affect the information it spits out at you. So
I wish
yes,
I had
I'm
like
a nerd.
a bunch of fake data. Maybe you could ask it to make me fake data or anonymize my data, and then I could do it on an open office hour sometime, because you need a lot of data for this to be put to the test, right? Like, I don't want to give it like my 5 demo site accounts. I want to give it like years, a year's worth of renewal data, maybe even like on a monthly level.
I bet as long as you give it what information specifically you need, what data points you need, we could definitely get fake information from it.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so Kim, we have about 10 minutes left. Could you demo something for Tony, please? And this was kind of a coding with Sam, probably early coding with Sam. I think it was may have been one of the first ones. They used the code to change the text of the membership content restriction message, but they wanted to keep the view membership level button and only changing the text above it. Can you demo how you would add that button back into the code? I'm gonna go ahead and
I know that there's a few ways that you can customize it. So there's a few places. Header, body. This one changed it? It shouldn't. Let me look at the code. This is what you used, right, Sam? Okay.
I used the code that's on the, that is what I used. Yes.
Why isn't code snippets here? Oh, I started from your...
You started from scratch. The very first coding with Sam, we downloaded code snippets.
That's right. I started from scratch. All right. I need to find a protected post. Okay, cool. All right. So this is the uncustomized version. We should... Let me just make sure. I'm just reading the code quick. Body. Okay. It does. Filters the body.
I thought when I did it, I still had a button to view my levels.
Maybe you did the header?
I did both the header and the body when I changed my... Thanks, Jim.
What?
Jim said nerds rock.
Nerds rock. Yeah, like let's say I just put this in.
I did both the header and the body in one.
It does take the button out. I don't know. I mean, we could consider adding a third filter. I guess we wouldn't want to. But you can also just add it, right? But it needs to.
Yeah, couldn't you add the button to the body of it?
It would work if you were linking to your pricing page, but not like for the specific level.
Well, it says view the he wants view the membership levels button, so that would go to the pricing page.
Okay.
We have some examples for this.
Yeah.
We have some examples of adding the button back or adding the button to link to specific levels.
Okay.
The other thing I would do, Tony, on this one, again, my AI and I, because I do this on Coding with Sam test site and I don't have a live site, so I would recommend doing it on a test. But I would throw the code that we have on our site for the body into ChatGPT and say, I want to add a button that links to my pricing page labeled as this, and see what ChatGPT gives you. But again, I'm a nerd.
All right. Yeah, you would have to add the button. That would go to our levels page in this demo site then. In this site, oh, it is linking to the right one. I think I have some weird code. Yeah, so you could add the button within the customizing of the thing. If you don't mind what the current one says, you can also, let's say you wanted to, before body equals, I'll explain what I'm doing after I do it. Okay. You could string something before it and then keep what's there and then say body equals. Okay. So this should technically, did that work? Oh, it got mad at me. It said okay. So you could put something beforehand that you wanted to insert, right? And then still keep what's there currently. So you keep the custom message. So does that make sense? Should I explain that better, guys?
Maybe I should explain what you changed in the code to do that.
Okay.
I mean, I saw it,
so the
but
current snippet
I understand it, but
yeah, the snippet in our site currently is like override everything in this message. So it would take away that button, take away the default statement that's included. Now the version I modified said, okay, I'm just going to stick stuff before it. So I set up a new variable. I called it before the body, and then I append it before in this way, and then I return the full thing. So you could shorten this too, but that's a way if you're okay with what's there and you just want to extend it.
perfect. Hopefully that helped, Tony. And if not, let us know. Robert says we keep extensive notes on some members in Word docs. Is there a way to attach these docs to their member profiles so they're accessible in PMPro?
Yeah, I said they already got a recommendation for that. Put the link in Google. Put the link to the notes in the member notes for each member.
Yeah.
It's
I want to say
file.
it's Jim from United Sidecar, but I feel like that's wrong. I try so hard to make sure I know people's names and their websites that they're associated with. But United Sidecar Association uses Google Docs, and they just copy and paste a link to their notes in their profile. Jerry, it was a J. I was close. It was a J.
You are close.
You can do file fields as user fields, but I think the process would be kind of interesting. You could have an admin only field that's a file type field. If you wanted to modify the field, I guess you would download the file, make your edits, and then replace the file on the member account. So it's possible to do it with a doc, an actual Word document, if you're using Word documents, or you could use a Google Doc, a Notion board, whatever, something, and like they said, put that URL. That'd work.
Yeah, if they're not updating it often, then that would work great. But if they're updating often, then they could also do the other way.
Is it noisy when I sip this? I'm sorry. This is a noisy.
It's not too bad. We hear your ice a little bit.
I'm not getting sponsored, but it's that Sabrina Carpenter iced coffee at Dunkin'. It's pretty good, guys. It's oat milk also, Sam.
Oh, I didn't know that. I don't really go to Dunkin'.
No.
Actually, I really don't go anywhere. Okay. So we are coming to the top of the hour. I do see Cameron has added a question, so we will get to your question in just a second. Before we do that, and I still have people's attention, March 13th, boost your revenue with membership upsells with me. I'm going to try to cover 9 ways that you can boost your revenue with PMPro, mostly to your existing members, but also how you can get a little bit of money out of potentially new members. Hopefully I get to all 9 of them. I don't know. We're going to demo them as we go through. And Kim and I are going to prepare for that next week when I'm in Pennsylvania, because I'm not prepared. But that's okay. And then the next Coding with Sam, Kim and I will actually be side by side, or maybe another room, but I will be in Pennsylvania.
You can be in here.
I'm going to be there March 7th online, 9 a.m. Eastern.
Marcus is coming.
Yay. Marcus, we're going to update the live page right after this, and that will be where you can go if you have questions on that topic. Submit the form. You do not have to submit the form to register for the event. The event is open to the public online on YouTube. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you know when we do go live, because we also have Coding with Sam before we get to my 70th open office hour. And then we also have exclusive Slack communities. So if you're not in the Slack community, make sure you join our Slack so you can do things like talk to Kim and I face to face in a Google Meet, where we actually get to not have you behind a keyboard. Yes, Kim is in Reading, and I will be flying to Philly on Tuesday. Cool. Okay, so last couple questions. Cameron says, can you recommend a good ticket system that will allow for form submissions to be filed under specific categories within the system and allow backend users to specify the categories? Specific categories.
I think
Do you want it as part of the WordPress site? Does it have to be part of WordPress?
Yeah.
Michael says they use JS tickets.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
We
I set
use
up one for
a forms plugin. Oh, I'll let you go, Mary. I don't have to say.
No, I was going to say that I set up one for a client recently. It was also a ticket plugin, but it was built with React. So we had to use JS to restrict, like if you're not a member, you could still view the ticket, even though it was, but the JS was, so it's a matter of preference, I would say. It's because there are quite a number of them out there. So you have to decide which one fits your budget, which one has the features that you need. And if it has a CPT, like it's a CPT, then great, because then you could restrict them with PMPro, who has access to open a ticket or not open a ticket.
We use Free Scout, which is an open source version of what's it called?
Help Scout.
Help Scout.
So we just use a contact form plugin that sends an email, and then within Free Scout, it's not part of our WordPress site, but you can do a lot of automations in there. You can have saved replies in there. So automations could auto tag things. You can have lots of different users. You can have lots of mailboxes and automatically move things between mailboxes. So it does require setting up your own server. We run it on a DigitalOcean droplet. I think it's $12 a month. Maybe it's less than that. So it's a little heavier to set up, but it's cheaper than Help Scout by far to run. And we can customize it as we want. So yeah, I never used that. Yeah. Krishna, there is a hook to modify the classes. If there's specific places you're not able to target, I would say pull requests welcome on GitHub, and we can review them and decide if we see them as helpful to the entire community of Paid Memberships Pro users. If there's just certain things that are rendering on the front end that you can't target with CSS for some reason. But you can also insert your own selectors using this hook. If you're trying to, let's say, we use it to pull in a theme's custom button selector name into Paid Memberships Pro field so that the theme and the front end Paid Memberships Pro pages look more similar. So that's an option. But yeah, pull requests welcome. I don't know. We could like just add them everywhere. I think we have pretty many. Pretty much everything is targetable. Cool.
Yeah.
How do I join the Slack channel? Sammy put the link.
I put the link in there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Harold's raised in Philly. Cool. Pottstown. That's so close to us.
Pottstown. Oh, yeah. I recognize that name from signs from driving around.
Yes.
Um,
You're honorary
okay.
Pennsylvanian.
We do have one question about ConvertKit. It's probably
Okay.
better suited for our email integration open office hours, which would be on the, let me get the date for you. Email integration. Oh, it's not till the end of June. It's June 26th. But we do have information on our Kit add-on. But how would you feed the information that the user uses when they register to ConvertKit?
So if they're onboarding into Kit first, not into your membership site, you need Zapier to create the user in the WordPress site. If they're starting at the WordPress site as members, our Kit integration will insert them into your Kit subscriber list with the appropriate tag for their level. So better that they can start at the website side rather than the Kit side. But if they're starting at Kit, you need some kind of automation like Zapier to connect the information to the WordPress site.
Exactly.
Hi.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for everyone who joined. If you submitted a question, we did not get to it, reach out to us on our contact form, or if you pre-submitted the question, we will reach out via email for you. Like I said, join that Slack community, and then next Friday is Coding with Sam, 9 a.m. Eastern, and then the following Thursday will be that open office hours number 70 with me on boosting your revenue. So you don't want to miss that. Thank you so much, everybody.